Marks.
Oh,
There was Gorilla House, then there was the Rumble House. Now there's the Isle of Roux, where no one can tell us what to do.
Hello, welcome. This is welcome to the Isle of Roux.
30,
You made the journey.
33. What's with the 3?
I don't know. It's escaping.
It's also our anniversary.
Yeah.
For those of you that made it out to the roof assembly of the family of Roux,
Yeah.
we got married on the roof of the Rumble House.
2019.
Do you think I did this? This doesn't seem like me.
What?
Well, why is there a star here and here?
It doesn't. It probably fell off and I put it back in because I thought.
Just making stuff up.
I'm like a little bit.
You're perfect. I'm just like, that's not how that goes.
Where would the other star be?
I don't know. I think maybe here. Maybe here. I don't know. They must have all fallen out. And then you were like, I know, we can look too. It could be that I did that. And just,
I
brain
like
changed
all
sense.
of it. My brain changed.
I do like the stars involved in our names and numbers and things.
Me too.
And I think one of the reasons why I like the stars is because I'm communist. Oh no, you're not. You're socialist. I love how my conservative friends are like, you're not really a communist. You're more like a socialist. It's like, but they still roll their eyes. But it's like they don't want me putting myself down that way by calling. Come on now, don't be so hard on yourself. Can I tell you something about communism?
Sure.
That's what's going to be left for us after AI.
That's right.
Do a little light reading, and you'll find that
will
that is our future.
universal.
Ask the AI what it's got planned for us.
Cell 8.
We're going to take turns cleaning the toilets. That's what we're going to do.
I'm pretty good at cleaning.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be like aggressive or passive or anything. I'm just saying like, that there is a plan for us, but it's mostly going to be things like body jobs. Like how else will you know?
All right, I'm going to start with the land
Hello,
acknowledgement.
handsome.
Hi. Yay.
Yo!
Oh,
So-
what happened?
so,
The Creator
go.
gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share
Perfect.
and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on Mokinstis is the ancestral territory of the Siksika, Sitapi, the Siksika, the Gaina, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Tsutena, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstone. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, play, and make art on these lands and who now call this place home.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Let's lean forward a bit. Ready?
Ooh,
Put the camera phone right up here. No. Right here. Not in front of the camera, but near the camera. Okay. You can see the words.
I already did it though. Oh yeah.
I'm just saying for next time. I want to see the difference. Okay. Now try reading them. Let's say if I hold it. Okay. There we go. Just look at that.
The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share.
Do you see how much nicer that is?
I can't see my face when I'm looking at the pictures.
Trust me. Trust me. Here,
Make
watch
eye
this.
contact, Jessica.
Watch this.
Make eye contact.
The land acknowledgement. Don't I look better when I'm looking at the screen?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? We talked about that. You knew who confirmed that for us was Mr. Dress Up. I don't know his real name. Bernie? Was it Bernie something?
I don't know.
And Mr. Rogers. Two people that had very similar stage presence. There we go. Thank you. Very similar concepts that they would look at the camera and they would treat the camera like it's the most important
I
thing.
do have to do a better job.
We were so good during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's more like, here we are. Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to take this off.
Yeah.
Ciao.
So last week
We are still on the air, so I'm going to leave this here.
we started. Oh.
We did start talking about
Talking
curriculum.
about curriculum.
And you dug this out. This is what you were looking for last time.
Yeah.
2 things, okay?
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, right here, where's my finger? There we go. Try telephoning 403-629-7424. Just try that. See what happens. 403-629-7424. 403-629-7424. Okay, back to where I was talking about. You were looking for this, and I got a little pissy, remember?
Well, no, you're like, let's just do that for next week because we're focused on
Also, I couldn't function with this if it was on the screen.
Right.
Do you know that about me?
I didn't know. Oh, on a TV screen.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Mhm.
Like, I need this to be on paper.
Mhm.
I'm just checking something because if this was right down over the paper,
Mhm.
that people can read the words, right? But if I'm back
Oh.
here and I zoom in, the people can't read the words. So that's a thing to consider in terms of like small print stuff.
Scott says he thinks Mr. Jessup's name was Ernie Combs.
What thought is that?
Pork.
Telephone me at 403-629-7424. Scott, I did send you a invitation if you want to join us on the Isle of Roux. That's still kind of low res, right?
Oh, I can start reading it though.
Okay. I'm not going to get too hung up about
No,
that.
and we don't need to read it.
No, but I'm drawing and writing for the people today. So, hello, I'm Johnny Kerr.
I really like you. I really like you.
What?
I really like talking about this stuff because it's like humanity. Like art is humanity.
403-629-7424.
Making is like being human.
Right.
And then
So speaking of humanity,
Mhm.
here's what we did: is we took the art curriculum,
Mhm.
and it used to have a bunch of rules like
Students will
must
do-
visualize experience, and what we did was we changed it to a set of laws.
and we just said we.
We use visual experience. We see, interpret, and make sense of visual stimuli. We understand how others interpret the visual messages. So these are our set of laws, and
We just rephrased them into like
all we did was change it from the student will to
we all do this. Like
this is what we do.
because I think they had the people writing this they were closer at least. They understood that like it's a human thing, but then they were still on
They
that,
wrote
like,
it specifically for teachers to read,
yes.
right? And they
Yeah.
weren't thinking about what the kids were getting. And it made such
Holistically,
an amazing way to present it to the kids. Because we also, this was made at a time when I think a lot of times they thought the secret was to surprise the kids with all your brilliant ideas after they've done as you told, right? Karate Kid's a really good example. So what would happen is if you had a dutiful child, right, and they did what they were told, they would wash the car, they would sand the deck, and in the end, they would be surprised by their amazing knowledge. Whereas I think to tell them why they're doing stuff really makes a big difference.
Mhm.
Okay, so when we say we use visual experience,
Also, if you're curious about how we started the conversation, it's on number 32, Isle of Roux number 32.
EIEN.
CE.
See, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just talk about that for a second, okay? Who do I got online?
Zach and Theo are joining from their studio.
Zach, can you be my crash test dummy?
Yeah, let's crash and burn, baby.
Can I tell you that I often set teachers up to fail at this. So if you feel like I'm setting you up, it's because I am, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm a brand new teacher, and I get this binder, Actually, if I'm lucky, I get this binder. It's kind of from the 70s. But if I'm not lucky, I got to print it off. And the printed off version is not very good. But if I'm lucky enough to hustle this binder, you get a sentence where it said the students will use visual experience. And we change it to we will use visual experience because we're seeing ourselves as a student as well.
Yeah.
We're building a space where the classroom's more like a studio than a lecture hall, right?
Okay, that sounds great. That's super healthy.
Yeah, but just pretend and please, like, feel free to do really well on this or really bad on this. Even if you want to play up not answering it well, like, oh, that's an impossible answer. What do you think it means when we say we use visual experience as a law?
We use visual experience. It sounds like memory based. I don't know, like visual experience.
It seems kind of vague, doesn't it?
Yeah, super loose. Like I'm getting like rodent. I'm getting like rodent behavior.
Yeah. No,
energy
right
from that phrase.
You're right on track. I actually, the more I think about it, and I don't know why we haven't talked about this. Why don't you get your teaching degree and save some lives?
Me?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah, I just stepped over a boundary, but maybe I'll bring it up again after you've had some time to let it sink in. Okay.
Okay.
Imagine you're a brand new teacher and you want to like do great. Okay. And then you open up the book and these are basically, I talk about this all the time. There's basically 100 things you need to teach the kids in art class. Okay. But it's all broken into 4 ideas, 4 ways of doing things. Okay. There's like 5 really big units. Okay. And then there's 10 kind of smaller things. And then there's about 25 things that kind of collect as meanings. And then there's about 100 details. So basically it works out really well that you teach for 10 months. Okay. There's 3 big ideas, possibly 4 big ideas, depending how like deep you are. Right. Then there's basically 10 things you need to do all the time. And then there's like 25 things that they should be familiar with, really sharp with, and then 100 details. Okay. But these are the 25 things that they really need to know. These are the 25 laws. These are the 25 commandments of fine art. Okay. But I'm a first-year teacher. Okay. And it says in the book, students will use visual experience. Yeah, man. Of course they will.
Of course.
But then the question is, what the hell does that mean? And I remember when I took this apart, because I like academic talk, I would just sit there and shred ideas, because students will use visual experience just sounded so powerful and so vague. I couldn't say more and less in the same sentence, right?
Yeah. So go on.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The bells in my school go do, do, do. And then we change classes and the kids are just settled down and they should go do, do, do. But they don't. They still go do, 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 do. So do, do, do means start and stop, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But if I explain to you if do, do, do and do, 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 they should mean different things, right? Like the rising scale means get up and go. And the downward scale means relax.
Yeah.
If I was a band teacher, the opening line should be, students will use auditory experience. Know what I mean?
Yeah, it can't be both. Can't be, yeah.
Here's another experience, okay? Tell me that you got a new paintbrush.
Yeah, I got a new paintbrush.
Shut up! Right? Tell me it again.
I got a new paintbrush.
Shut up! Do you see how those are different?
Okay, lightly, yeah.
So if I was in a linguistics class, I might talk about students will use a tonal experience, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In art class, we're using a visual experience, okay? Look at this means number 1. This means second best. This means peace. This means little. This means, oh boy, I'm getting married. And this means yes, or sarcastic, go screw yourself. And this can mean you die, right? What does this mean?
I think they call it the bird.
Right, but I'm actually teaching the kids all the time that in this class we use visual experience. And as stupid as that sounds, it is the core of what we do. Okay, at the very core of what I do in art class, I'm using visual experience. Now that sucks if a student who's been, had an explosion and had their eyeballs blown out, they walk in my class. I'm like, we use visual experience. Well, you can still use visual experience without your eyes because you're visualizing in your head, right? So if I said, oh, close your eyes, and I go, and I go, what color was that? Then that's still visual experience, okay? So everybody's welcome. You don't have to have eyeballs to use visual experience, but the very first starting point right here, check mark right here, is we use visual experience. That is our core central gong show belief, okay? And it doesn't mean you can't listen to music. It means when you come into class, you're in a space that's about thinking in pictures. Right?
And
Right.
yeah, the visual experience is an action. It's like you're taking something in or
Yeah.
you're putting something
And
out.
I think you knew
you're-
that,
yeah.
right? And you did a great job of talking. I liked how you said like rat talk or something. I thought that was really clever.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm here. Visual experience is a bit broad, but now I get it. It's literally everything.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
specifically, well, it's not completely broad, right? Like there is the fact that I'm just changing the lights a bit. We moved our studio around, and we're completely in a different
natural.
orientation now. That's some sunlight. Okay, so yeah, because basically in phys ed class, you still use visual experience, but you're also using a tactile movement experience, right? So art class is about how your brain sees.
Mhm.
Okay, law number
Okay.
2. We see, interpret, and make sense of visual stimuli, right? This means 1, this means 2, this might mean 3, right? The fact that we've decided that we're going to agree that the things that we see matter is a big part of our class, right? And actually, one of the things is kids will come in with wristbands that say, I love boobies. I have no problem with you loving boobies. However,
Yeah.
kind of what does pique me is that I go, really? And they go, it's for cancer. I'm like, really? Like, what does that mean? Like, you're raising money for cancer? How much money are you putting into cancer? And one of my students get very mad. She's like, cancer doesn't need money. I'm like, I think we're agreeing cancer doesn't need money raised. It's not, it's the I Love Boobies brace bands were really not about raising money to fight cancer either. They were raising cancer awareness, right? And so perfectly valid. I don't care if it says boobies on your wrist, but I do want you to know what the things you're wearing mean. I want you to know that things have meaning. And so a kid comes in my class with a Keith Haring t-shirt. I lose my mind. They're like, Mr. Taylor, it doesn't mean anything. I agree that if you want to wear a band shirt, you don't have to know all the songs. But I do think that you should know, the shapes and the symbols you're wearing mean stuff, right?
Yeah.
When I taught in the years ago, and the product brand TNA was popular, I had come up from I worked in fashion design. Actually, I was an artist that worked for a fashion designer, and there was a couple of years they were really chasing that TNA, FCUK. They really wanted like edgy name brands that would have the kids kind of like, ooh, I got something naughty on my shirt. And what bothered me about it was that if you call the kid out and said, why does it say TNA on your shirt? They go, oh, Tallulah and that, whatever the word was to cover. When it says TNA on your shirt, it also referenced a phrase that construction workers might, not to pick on construction workers, but certain demographics of middle-aged men would use to describe breasts and buttock. Okay, it's B&B. And what stresses me out about that is, Zach, I should think if I got on the bus and I was wearing a T-shirt that says Zaire, and you got on the bus, you'd be quite thrilled. Yes?
Would I be thrilled, or do I need like hire a lawyer, copyright lawyer?
Thrilled if somebody was a fan of you and they put your name on their shirt? I mean,
Oh, okay, yeah.
okay. And then also,
Yeah.
like, do you not think, can I ask you this? If you got
Yeah.
on the bus and a 75-year-old man got on the bus and sat down across from me, he's wearing a t-shirt that said the Isle of Roux, would you not feel like you're compelled to bring up a conversation with him?
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Right. And so if I wear an Isle of Roux t-shirt and I get on the bus and somebody I know loves Isle of Roux and they go, I love Isle of Roux, that's an invitation. Your clothes are an invitation for communication. If it says TNA on your shirt, it's different. You know, please don't objectify me, but well, now that is such a loaded topic that I'm not going to comment on because my experience as a man is different. But I will say you need to consider. I'm not saying what TNA means. I'm saying you just need to consider the conversations that are invited when you communicate visually. And a lot of times we say, oh, it doesn't matter, but no, it does. It matters. This is the number one kind of art school irony is you go into art school, you dye your hair blue, you shave off half your head, you tattoo your face, you put some bones through your nose, and then you get mad that people are staring at you. And all of those things are super cool, but you can't be shocked if you're pushing those boundaries that people are responding, because art is a two-way conversation. If it's not a sender receiver, it's not really art, it's your diary. Okay. And if you put your diary on a billboard and people read it, you can't get mad, right? With my daughter, she once texted me and she said she thought one of her boyfriends or one of her friends read her diary. I'm like, just forget them. Just change your phone number. Never look at them again. If somebody reads your diary, they're an awful, awful person. I am speaking in like very general terms that might offend people too, by the way. If they're like, no, I'm allowed to wear a shirt without it connecting to anything. That's fine if that's what you believe. But in art class, you're going down this path where the subject matter requires you to temporarily agree that the things you say and do have meaning. Right? And if you were in my class and you're 17 years old, I would talk to you and you identified as male, I would talk to you as, Zach, are you a man of consequence? Do you plan to be a man of consequence? Because if you plan to be a man of consequence, then your words starting right now really matter. If no one ever notices you and you never do anything interesting in your life, then you can say whatever the hell you want. But just know that if you become an NHL hockey star or even a university hockey star, every single reporter is going to call somebody at this school and ask what you were like in high school. They're going to talk about the things you said and did.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, this tracks.
I've only done 2 so far. We understand how others interpret the visual messages we're creating, right? And so you would often have in class somebody that would want to test you, and they would put a swastika in the artwork, and then they would say, "It's not a swastika; it's an Indian fertility symbol." But it's like that image hurts people, right? And if you want to hurt people, I guess you have the right to hurt people with your artwork, but you can't hurt people and pretend it wasn't intentional. You have to know that your images have meanings, right? I think I just covered that twice. We use traditional and contemporary tools and materials and media. Oh boy, Zach, guess what?
What?
Traditional and contemporary tools. Can you imagine if you were in high school art class, if you brought in your array of spray cans, how like your teacher, were they quite thrilled with stuff like that, or was that just not something you did?
I didn't. I like cried in a middle school art class and never took it again.
Well, what if you brought in your contemporary tools? Would that have been nice?
I was way too square then.
You get what
I didn't have any. Yes, though I do understand. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
we think and behave as artists. Okay. We think and behave as artists. This is a line that Sir Donald Trump should learn, that he needs to think and behave like a politician. Right?
I love that line because it's like it raises the expectation of the listener.
Right.
It's like we in here behave and think as artists. So
Right, but when you're a brand new teacher, like, I got to grade the kids on this? How do I grade them if they think and behave like artists? That's just crazy. Well, these are more like the laws of the land, okay?
Yeah.
But they are the things that I'm really, this is at the core. This is what I'm really caring
the
about.
bones,
But
yeah.
it's also difficult to turn around and say, this is what I'm grading, because if I say we think and behave as artists, right? I particularly like Jon Stewart, who's a comedian who does political comedy, right? And what I like about him is that he's funny, and then he'll get in a debate with political journalists, and then they'll like call him out on like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, I'm a comedian. Like, this is my job to be funny. You're supposed to be a journalist, and he's able to battle them that way. I think like you get politicians that forget they're politicians. You get people that do news-like journalism, and they flip from I'm a journalist to I'm not a journalist. I don't feel like Jon Stewart flips from being a comedian to a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
He's always a comedian. But I think when you call out the people from Fox News or Rebel News, they'll often, flip from this is what I am to that. You have to think and behave like a journalist. If you're a journalist, you should think and behave like a comedian. If you're a comedian, Zach?
Yeah.
You need to think and behave as though you're a villain.
No.
Proper villain.
He's not a villain.
What was your SIN number again?
631.
No, hey, whoa. I'm not that kind of villain.
Okay. We understand the term artist is equally valid to describe one who's worked a lifetime as someone who's a relative beginner. I love that one. And it's got two meanings. Okay. Talk about who's the best artist in this class. I got 30 art 30 kids. I got 30 kids in an art class. 10 of them are at 30, 10 of them are at 20, 10 of them are at 10. I go, who's the best artist here? They all point to this kid or the other. I'm like, no, really. Who's the best artist here? They point to another kid. I'm like, okay, guys, last chance. Who's the best artist here? Like, Mr. Taylor is probably you if you're counting yourself. I'm like, 100%. I'm the best artist. Okay. I don't care what you say. That's my stance. Okay.
Sick.
Now, that's up to, I might be sitting next to somebody who also thinks they're the best artist, and I'm fine with that. Okay. It's great if there's two of us that think we're the best artist. It's great if there's like 20 kids that go, Lois is almost as good as you, or Lois is better than you. That's great. But it's okay for me to think I'm the best artist. Okay. It's actually kind of embarrassing for me if I'm not, because I've been working at this for 45 years, right? They might have been working at it for 5 to 10 years, but I've been working at it longer than an old person is, right? So, and I'll have kids that come in and have some mad pencil skills, and they can do some mad pencil skilly stuff. But then I'm like, well, here, try color, and then here, try clay, and then so I have a pretty strong repertoire. But okay, so there's 2 parts to this point.
Rich, let me interrupt for a second and ask you a question.
Sure.
What would your response be if all those 30 kids said, I'm the best artist?
That's what I teach them.
Good.
I teach them to say that, but really they know it's me. Okay. So
He would be happy if they all said that.
that's actually, Theo, I don't know if you know this, but that's my artist statement. So when you have that whole, 5-page statement on what your art's about, mine's just 5 words. It's I'm the best artist. And then when we wrote our manifesto, we expected everybody to cross my name out and write their name into I'm the best artist. There's a blank spot there.
Take ownership.
But here's where this goes the other direction. We understand that the artist equally is valid to describe one who has worked a lifetime or somebody who's a relative beginner. Now, at this point, Zach, are you an artist?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Are you an art teacher?
By proxy, maybe.
Of sorts, yeah? Could you be a high school art teacher?
I'd have to catch me if you can, but yeah.
Or maybe like you could upgrade a class or two?
Or I could actually study the material, and yeah, I could. Yes.
I'm going
Of the capacity.
to lean on you a bit to do that because I think it's important to consider this. But you recognize you do need to put some academic time in so that you can be a professional art teacher, right?
Yeah.
Are you closer to being a high school art teacher than a dentist?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, me too. So when we say we understand the term artist is equally described one who's worked a lifetime or one who's a relative beginner, we're having two thoughts at once. One thought is the split second you decide you want to be an artist, you're an artist. Everybody else in the world gets to shut the hell up. Once you say I'm an artist, nobody in the world can take that from you. If they tried to, they'd just be trying to show evidence of their own stupidity. The split second you decide to be an artist, you're an artist. The split second you decide to be a dentist, you got 14 years of university left. But the split second you decide to be an artist, you're an artist. Okay? The second you decide to be a high school art teacher, you might have as many as 4 years of university left. But what I'm saying is, no one gets to dictate to you that you're not an artist. There's all you need to do is flip that switch. All you need to do is say yes, and you get to be an artist.
I was going to say, because everyone's an artist, and when you come to that realization, then it's the magic. It's like you see, like you're an artist. Yeah.
So I have to preface this with everybody's an artist. We're all artists, and we're all equals. And then I finish it with, please consider, I've been doing this full time for 45 years. So we're all artists. Nobody's really better than the next. I will steal a lot of your good ideas. I'm here to learn from you. You're here to learn from me. I often describe myself as Alfred. I'm like, I'm Alfred and you're Batman, okay? Like I'm here to serve you. I am your servant.
Cool.
It does make a lot of sense for you guys from time to time to just give me the benefit of age. Just say I put my 10,000 hours in by the time I was 17. I'm in my mid 50s now. I probably put 40,000 hours into art, and it's worth your while to just trust me sometimes. But at the core, the split second you decide to do it, you get to be an artist, and we're equals, right? And that's actually one of the things. This line here is a bit of a contradiction with everything else I do at school, because I will constantly catch heat from being too open-minded with the kids driving their own path, right? Like every 10 years or so as a teacher, I'll get a lecture about, you can't just let the kids do what you want. I'm like, I sure as hell can.
But that's the next one. We believe art is accessible to all individuals.
We believe art is accessible to all individuals.
So you can
this is like a declaration, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, okay. And when it said the
And it
kids
keeps
had to
building.
believe that becomes a hard thing to grade. Like, kids will believe that art's accessible to all, but that's kind of oppressive to tell them what they'll believe.
Yeah, or will do, but it's like, but it should be accessible. Like, it's my job.
As a declaration
that
we believe that. Maybe this isn't useful for me to have my finger on here because
also
you can't really see it.
It's kind of interesting too, because it's like these statements were phrased as like students will like prove they do this or prove this or will do this.
Yeah.
But it's like when we flip it, it's kind of like you flipped the gorilla house, we flipped the art gallery stance, we flipped everything, that it's like we do this together.
Yeah.
You meet everybody,
Yeah.
we do this, we flip everything.
Yeah.
So it's like we believe art's accessible to all individuals because art, and then it builds on each other because art is a visual experience. Like everyone, even in your mind's eye, has visual experiences. So it's like it should be accessible.
Helen Keller had visual experiences.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like
It was like
art
a tunnel.
should be accessible to all individuals.
Yeah.
It's not something, and actually, it's like the superintendent should read this too, because it's like all kids should have access
and,
to
like,
art
They
classes.
can't read it by themselves
all
because it
kids.
actually takes a bit of guidance, right? Like
Yeah.
I didn't crack the book open and go, oh yes, this is easy.
Right.
I cracked the book open and said, what is this even? And actually, I'll get phone calls probably 5 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get phone calls from teachers that were math teachers and just got saddled with an art class.
Yeah.
And they'll go, I'm looking at the curriculum and it's crazy. Like, what does this gibberish mean? It's not that it doesn't mean anything. It's presented in a very simple manner. It's so simple that it's very challenging. Very challenging to understand. Okay. We believe its practice results in the changing of the individual, the changing of the relationship among individuals, and the changing in social, physical environments.
So the person.
So Zach put the Isle of Roux on a skateboard wall and I'm a different person,
Yeah.
right? Even like you and I rode our bikes to go visit my mom just past Fish Creek, and we came back different people. We went on a road trip and we came back different people. I read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance when I was 21, and I turned into a different person. When you see an artwork, it's not just that you walk by and you look at it and you have an experience, is that you shift and evolve into a higher being when you look at art.
Yeah.
Every piece of art you look at is an advancement to the next level. We believe art is not merely created, as valued in the creation and cherishing of all art forms. Okay, let me tell you what that means. Oh, do we have more copies of this?
Oh, a lot.
No, don't get them now.
Yeah.
I just haven't gone over this with my class, and I got new kids next
I
year,
have
so,
lots. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so if it so happened that two kids got in a fight in my class, I'll say to them, listen, you guys, here's the deal. My job is to keep you guys from fighting. You think you're going to fight and get in trouble? Little trouble. You get suspended. You get a phone call. Those are little troubles. The thing where my job is put at risk because I can't manage a classroom. You guys fight. You're affecting my car, my house, my children's education, my future, my taxes. My whole survival is dependent on you guys not fighting, okay? So when you fight in my classroom, it's my fault, right? No. And if you hit another kid, I would be so angry on the inside, but I would eventually forgive you. If you smashed another kid's piece of artwork, I would eventually pretend I wasn't angry at you, but I would probably hold a grudge against you for the rest of your life. And it's true. There's one kid that just randomly snatched a painting off this little guy that made a drawing for his dad's birthday. They got off the bus. They were playing keep away. It got out of hand. They tore it up. Kid comes into school, doesn't want to speak, doesn't want to do art, doesn't want to breathe, doesn't anything. I go, how did things work out with your dad's drawing? Bursts into tears. I find out that one of the grade 12s that he was on the bus with took his drawing away. I think it was a group thing where three kids were being funny. They were being funny because they saw this kid had a value in the drawing. Yeah. They saw the kid cherishing the drawing. One of the kids took hold of the drawing, and that was funny. He passed it to another kid who took hold of the drawing, and that was funny. They passed it back and forth in a way that the kid couldn't get his drawing back, and that was funny. Along the way, the group created tears and rips in the drawing to the point where somebody just took hold of the situation and tore it all up and pretended they meant it. And that kid was so devastated that he couldn't speak, he could barely breathe the next day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How did your drawing go? He stops breathing, right? Like he starts the gas in his chest turns into like flame retardant, and he can't breathe because of this rage. And ironically, I talked it over with his homeroom teacher, and that teacher called him a dick, and then that teacher got reprimanded for using a bad word. So that's funny. But we believe that art's just not created; it's also valued and cherished in all forms. So when we look at an artwork and it's not great, we don't tear it up, we don't throw them in the garbage. Don't tell me you took it home and gave it to your mom. Talk to me before you quit. And because every single mountain you climb, you find another mountain on the other side. Every single drawing you start halfway through, you go, oh, this is shit. If you open your sketchbook, you're going to see 20 drawings you hate and a blank page, and you'll be very attracted to that blank page. Don't let yourself rip those other pages out, because you end up with this book with 3 pieces of paper, and then it's awful. So I say that, but I probably have 20 sketchbooks around here with all the front pages ripped out.
It's the creation, it's the action of making and the cherishing of the art form.
Yes.
So it's not just
the making,
the object. It's the, like you said too. It's like
right. And celebrate your mistakes.
And
celebrate when the clay.
Like yeah.
Your clay prayer is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. We believe that the value is given. Oh, you know what? We might be able to read these now. Hold on. I'm just curious.
Because of the light.
We have light coming in.
That's really
Taylor
nice.
said, "Let there be light," and there was. Okay. We believe that the values given to art products not only tell us about who produced them, but introduce notions of how values have changed over time. What that means is if I were to hold an ancient statue, I have to react to it as myself in modern days. And at the same time, I'm recognizing that came from a human being from a different time. And actually, the idea that they could have thought something in their head, shaped it into an object, and left it for a million years for me to pick up the idea and the feeling that was in their head is better than any kind of magic, right? It's, I do a magic trick in my class, and the kids, it's a trick, and I tell them it's a trick. When they figure out how I did it, because I always tell them how I did it, they get so angry that I tricked them, and it's like, no, like I flipping told you it was. I told you I invented my own magic trick. This is my magic trick. Let me show you the trick, and then I'll show you how to do it. And when they realize how I do it, they get so mad, even though it was there all along.
Yeah.
Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe this happened? Do you believe that happened? Some guy took an idea in his head, scribbled on paper, died, left it for 10,000 years. Somebody was able to pick up that paper and share the idea from his head. Do you believe in telecommunication? Do you believe in psychic people? If I can pass an idea from my head into your head when I'm not even in the room because I left a mark on the road, on the paper.
Mom said hi from Newfoundland.
Oh, come on and join us. Just click the thing. Mom, I sent you a link. Just click it. We'll be able to see your beautiful face. We believe that values. Oh, I read that already. Okay.
We're getting into jar territory. Yeah, that was a good. Thanks. Hi, Mom.
What did he say?
He said we were getting into the jar territory.
What's a jar?
The jar. Put money in the.
No way. This is the school curriculum. Zach, this is not conspiracy theory. This is the basis of our culture. This is what everything's built on, right? The t-shirt you're wearing, the canvas you're painting on, the easel that you have, all of these structures come from writing and drawing. That somebody drew every item in your house before it was built, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the design process. Now,
Whoa.
the guy will take a couple pieces of wood and slap them together and experiment till he finds that he's got an easel. That can happen. That t-shirt you made was a drawing before it was a t-shirt. Before it went to every single thing in your house was a drawing before it existed. All right, back to the list. We believe that learning to see gives us the means to view the work of others and perhaps to relate to our own works, okay? So one of the things I need to do is I need to learn to see.
Learning to see. I like that.
I need to look at others' works. I might have an idea of what you're saying as I learn to see, right?
I like that. Perhaps.
I might.
Yeah.
It says perhaps in there for good reason, right?
I like that.
And actually, here's something. I like to experiment with the AI, and I've been taking pictures of my artwork in the AI and asking what it thought. And it's pretty astute. Like, it's able to get pretty close to what I meant when I made a painting. And I could show the math teacher one of my paintings, and a lot of times they're like, I don't really like to talk about art, but AI does. And I would strongly recommend you, if you have access to some AI, start loading your photos in, drop your photos into the AI, and ask it what it thinks, because it'll give you some pretty strong feedback. We believe searching for organization to be helped by knowledge about other people's priorities. We believe
searching for organization may be helped by knowledge about other people's priorities.
Right.
So if you're looking at a piece from another culture,
right,
or another time.
So, like Zach, actually, one of the reasons why I think you'd be a fantastic teacher is to draw on your street experience versus your studio experience versus some gallery experiences. Some people might have seen the Isle of Roux spray painted on a wall and thought, oh, a criminal. And some people might have said, I know that wall's from Vancouver, and that's a very powerful, magical wall. And some people might have been like, dude, did he use, what are the good paints that we like?
Winsor Newton?
No, spray cans.
Oh, Molotov?
Yeah.
Nice, so, Belton, nice.
What?
Molotov, Belton? Felton. So
Yeah,
nice, really nice low pressure paint.
Yeah. So like the more I learn about graffiti culture, the more I can understand the meanings and the purposes of things. It really helped me to read about 1960s street gangs to understand the difference between why a gang member would have put their name on a wall versus a teenager in 2025, right? Like when a gang member put their name on a wall in Los Angeles in the 60s, what they were saying was, me and my 12 friends will die for this block, right? My name's on the wall, my sister's on the block, and if you walk down here, I'm here to protect my sister, right? I'm here to protect my friends. And if you're coming to get me, my name's on the wall, come scratch it out. Come, the black dot for pirates had a meaning, and graffiti names in the 60s in LA gangs, they had meanings. And so, you might be just, walking around with your spray can, and you're like, a gang name. And you write your name over top and then find yourself in all kinds of trouble, right? You might be on the wrong block for sharing the wrong piece of artwork. So the more you learn about others, the better you can communicate. We believe searching for, I didn't check that.
And that's like empathy, right? Like that too is like empathy, and it's crazy.
We believe that art education deals with the ways in which people express their feelings in visual forms. That's also acknowledging that what we're doing in this classroom has an impact on your heart and your soul. Okay. What we're doing in this classroom is high risk. Phys ed is high risk. You could twist your knee and be on crutches for months. Shop class is high risk. You could put your finger in the saw blade and have 9 instead of 10 fingers. Math class, you're not going to get hurt in math class. I hope. I mean, you could, but you'd have to try. Social class, I don't know. You could get some pretty brutal paper cuts in social class. What?
This is the funniest notification I've ever got from YouTube in my whole life.
What does it say?
And it kind of has to do with this.
What?
Okay. So we just put up the Wolfman mashup.
Yeah.
And Ginger King 243. I don't know who that is or if they follow us, but maybe the algorithm just sent us to him.
Yeah.
Or them.
Yeah.
Says, this is so sweet. This is so wholesome. But I am so high. I'm just really trying to comprehend the past 9 minutes and why the YouTube algorithm fed me your 1 view, 1 hour fresh video. Really, I'm just speechless. And I'm not sure if it's the video or the shrooms or both. But 6 minutes, 35 seconds in transported me to a different realm, further beyond the different realm I'm already in, and I'm fearing the Wolfman.
Just write back, we're family now.
Okay.
We're family now forever. Write those words. Because you know what else?
Because we're having this conversation, and it's like,
Because a lot of people watch live, some people watch in groups. We're getting through the Facebook algorithm, we're getting locked down 14,000 views a week.
Yeah.
But sometimes the YouTube just records like 12 views.
Okay.
Because specifically people are watching it all over the place. And I'm actually quite embarrassed about how we have these huge productions and it's got like 12 views on the YouTube. And I bet you, like, if they looked at that and thought, what is this? And like, what? It's only got 12 views? Like, what planet?
But
and it's super
weird,
earnest. Can you scratch that
even
here?
weirder, we just put it up because I had some time to put
Yeah.
stuff up. And then I just saw it. And it was just such an earnest response. Oh, I'd made us more tea.
Awesome.
Continue. I am so sorry. I thought
I got it.
was
We
good.
believe that
was a good
art
moment.
takes the human condition as focus of study.
I love that. Humanity.
Yeah.
The
That actually goes
humanity.
back to my lesson about how big is this house, right?
Yeah.
Is this a big house or a little house? Okay. Zach, ready? You're on. Is this a big house or a little house? Where are you? Oh, did he leave? Okay. Well, it's a big house. And
Maybe he lost his
it's the size.
internet.
It's the size of the.
It's still hot. Sorry.
Yeah. It's the size of the doorway that makes it into the size of the house, right? So when it says we believe art takes the human condition.
As the focus.
And that's a superficial explanation of that, right? But
it comes from us. And it's like, it's not that superficial. I think that's pretty core.
and it covers like drawings, but also covers like photographs, right?
Mhm.
When you think about
Right.
looking at a photograph and bursting into tears,
Yeah, actually.
right?
I know, I don't want to skip that one, but that's this one too. It's like how it all.
We believe persons involved with the visual arts reflect upon what's that say?
And externalize their
Oh, it's blended. Externalize their personal feelings and intuitions of those and the fellow human beings. Okay. So that's to recognize that the art you make has power and has meanings and how you respond to things. Oh, my little brother could do that. Boom! Right? If somebody looks at your art and goes, oh, I have a cousin that draws, but he never really did anything with it. Kick him in the nads. Like there are things, take a bow. There are some things that people will say passive aggressively to hurt you. And if they hate you enough, they'll attack your art. Right? So recognizing that art is a sacred and holy place, art is a very delicate, right? You're very delicate. Vulnerable. Yeah, this is vulnerability. How do you spell vulnerable?
VULNER AB LE.
LE. Art makes you vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is the thing that I'm going to handle differently this year because I forget that other people have scary feelings around art. We believe that as artists, we share the ability with the writer, the poet, the musician in making parallels and discovering relationships. With the performing and literary arts, we gain a sense of common purpose.
Very nice thing.
And I was actually thinking about that one
Mm-hmm.
when I was talking about how art, we use visual experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
We recognize that, yeah, we use visual experience, but our cousins are the writers that use verbal experience, and our cousins are the poets that use beat experience, and the musicians that use sonic experience, and the parallels and the flipping back and forth, and getting the drama kids to come in and dance for the art kids, and getting the art kids to build some stuff for the drama kids, and all of that by recognizing even math, right? Even when you get math connected to art, or why do I always pick on math? I love math. There's social studies,
That's
math,
also a
language arts.
visual experience.
I know, and like whenever I have like spare time, like, we need to fill up some time in your schedule. I'm like, why don't you throw me into every other classroom? And we'll bring some visuals into whatever they're doing. Because whatever you're learning, if you can draw it, you know it. If you can draw a heart with all its working parts, you pass the biology test on the heart.
You were an incredible science teacher because of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, like really.
We believe in that art education deals with the making and defending of qualitative judgments about artworks. All right. Well, that's a very powerful statement.
I was going to say, does that one feel like someone else got into that conversation?
No.
No?
That one comes from 2 points of view.
Yeah.
That one is so vague in the curriculum that it does say sometimes you're going to have to suck it up and trust what the art teacher says sometimes. Like
right.
It's like it says in my art curriculum, and I don't like to harp on it. I do know that I own all the art. No, I don't own. The school board owns all the art the kids make.
Okay.
Right? We never take the artwork away from the kids, but technically whatever they make belongs to the school. Technically, whatever I create while I'm working for the school board owns. So they own my book, and they own this broadcast, and they own my t-shirt because I could have made it on work time. And when we say believe art education deals with defending qualitative judgments in artworks, I can see that as just trust that I know some things sometimes. But it also means I got to shut up as a teacher and listen to what you have to say, right? Your job is to defend your artwork. Your job is to talk about your artwork.
I was going to say that comes into the encounters part when I was talking
this is encounters.
ENC.
Yeah.
OUN.
Yeah.
TERS.
Right. I have my kids write reflections on their artwork.
It's the reflections and the critique.
This is where you get to tell me what your grade's going to be. And if I had a kid that made 40 paintings and asked them to write a reflection, it is a joy for them to sit down and write 12 pages of a reflection. If I had a kid that sat there and stared at the wall for 2 hours every day because they didn't know what to do, they can write about what they would have done.
We're thinking. Yeah. That's what I always try to explain, because it's like those critiques, those artist statements are there for those who maybe it's not so obvious to me.
Right.
What
And
it
these
is.
end ones are kind of uglier because the next line is we believe. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. No, it's good. Because it all is connected.
We believe becoming the perceptive critic attunes the pigeon.
Pigeon!
Ah!
Oh, he's
Okay.
having a shower from upstairs.
Get out of here.
We love pigeons, but I always have to clean their poop.
Well,
And the
we also
poop
get warnings
is
from the
so
apartment.
caustic, it wrecks our concrete.
We believe becoming perceptive critic attunes the individual to unique contributions to the art. So this basically means that when you're in the art class, you have to be able to sit down and talk about other people's work.
And when you're better at the vocabulary
Yeah.
of other people, then you're able to better understand your own work and the people around you.
Yeah.
So it's like if you
And some art teachers would give you a vocabulary test, and that's
Right.
not how you do it. How you do it is you put 10 pieces of artwork up and you talk about
Sorry, I was just thinking about Feldman's 4 Steps of an Art Critic. That's I got in a fight. It was funny. My
Tell
first
us.
interview for my first job.
Oh, you can't
art?
tell us. Yeah.
Well, it's not even bad because the person I got in a fight with
Very linear.
asked me back because they understood my passion lied
Right.
in a different interpretation
Right.
of these things.
Right.
Which kudos to them, because
We believe by adopting the stance of critic, we can develop methods of qualitative differentiation.
so you can see.
So if you can read what the critics are saying,
Mhm.
you can understand quality better. You don't have to agree with the critics,
Mhm.
right?
But at least you understand the words.
Yeah, like think about like somebody goes, "Oh, you know, the critics didn't really like the Fantastic Four." You're like, "Shut up! I love that movie." So like being able to talk to and about and around and interact with the critics, that matters. We believe we gain a sense that not all art is the same, and we're able to articulate our reasons preferring one work or the other.
I like that, to be able to talk about preferences.
And I added this word forever.
And I wrote amen at the end.
Right. Forever, amen.
Yeah.
Now, we believe we can gain a sense that not all art is the same and that we're able to articulate reasons for preferring one work or the other. That's a very positive way of saying probably my biggest argument. Okay.
Mhm.
When you're buying a piece of artwork, it really matters that you like it. Okay. When you're making a piece of artwork, it can matter that you like it, or it can be just exercise, right? Like when you're playing basketball, you don't have to love push-ups, but if you do your push-ups, be able to push the ball farther through the air. When you're wrestling, you don't have to love skipping rope, but the more hours you put into that rope, the better you're going to be on the mat, right? Muhammad Ali never talked about liking the road work, but he did the road work. So sometimes liking it sits in a different universe than doing it, right? So, and this is kind of, we talked about this before, is if a kid's got a piece of artwork and they like it, I go, look, if you like that, let's just put it aside and take it somewhere else. We'll take a photocopy of it. We'll work from that. You have to like an artwork if you're going to buy it. That's not true. You can buy it because you think it's going to be valuable.
Like you said, there's
but you should like an artwork if you're going to hang it. You should like an artwork if you're going to buy it. You should like an artwork if you're going to use it to decorate.
Yeah.
But you don't have to use it to decorate for it to be good.
Right.
It can be good and bad independently of you liking it.
Right.
And this statement, we say we believe we gain a sense that not all artwork is the same. We're able to articulate our reasons for preferring one work to the other. That is to say, we will make time for you to talk about what you like.
Yeah.
But it also leaves an understanding that whether it's good or not, and you know what? When we were inclusionists, we're still inclusionists, but when we were like really focusing, people would throw up like, "Oh, would you include Attila the Hun?" Like, I don't know, probably seems pretty interesting.
Probably.
But at the same time, when I would talk about liking and disliking art, and good art and bad art, and is it art? It's art if you say it is, but is it good? in the early days of Gorilla House and Rumble House, we had two frames of mind. We had the academic kids that went to art school, academic adults that went to art school,
Mhm.
and then we had this, the self-taught artists, and we made a space for both those people.
Yeah.
Now, it was very common for my academic friends to try and pick me apart by saying, well, don't you think this? And then it was very common for my self-trained artists to try and pick me apart by saying, don't you do that?
Mhm.
But the fact of the matter is, on both of those levels, this was really, really, really important. I believe both these in at the same time. I believe both that everybody can make art, and there's no such thing as good art, and there's no such thing as bad art. All there is ego and how you attach that ego.
Mhm.
I 100% believe that, and I 100% at the same time believe some pieces of art are fake and phony and pieces of crap, and some art pieces of art are magic.
And
And-
make yeah.
And the reason I believe that is because I've been to the Getty and I walked by a Van Gogh, and I know next to a Van Gogh, my artwork's a piece of crap. Okay. However, I hung my artwork right next to Salvador Dali, and it, you know what, held up. So there. But yeah, some artwork's good, some artwork's bad. You have to be able to talk about when it's good and bad. You can like bad art, right? I have some art in this house that I like that's bad. Okay, I'm going to show you some. Are you talking? I got it.
I don't know. It's like kind of interesting because you're like talking about, oh, I just hit the thing with my hand. Sorry. We believe in Guinness sense that not all art is the same. So it kind of, like you said, that does take you up to like that we're all artists, but all art falls differently. But then it also is to like up to the viewer, but the viewer has more of a leg to stand on if they have the ability to articulate the reasons for preferring one over. Because some people can say that's bad or whatever, but if you don't have the way to articulate why, it doesn't hold up.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to take that out of the way. I'm going to flip these over. Okay. This isn't important. This isn't important. Maybe I'll start that page over.
We can flip it, or yeah.
This is a. Oh,
I like that.
do you?
Yeah,
You like it a lot? But is it good?
it's like a response to the Venus of Willendorf. So
Is this a good piece of art?
but good in what means? Because it's good for what it's saying.
Well, we just went through this in the curriculum.
Zach, what do you?
No,
so-
don't you back
Okay,
out.
so for me, I would say it's good because it's referencing art history with the Venus of Willendorf reference. It's referencing a masculine take on the Venus of Willendorf. It is, I would say it's not like hyper realistic. I would say it
But that's
is-
exactly what we just went through with the curriculum, right? When
Yeah.
we went through the curriculum, we talked about how by knowing stuff,
yeah.
you can talk intelligently about what
Is it
makes
a
a good
good
piece of artwork.
sculpture?
So because you know me,
I
because you know
don't-
my intentions, because
Yeah.
you know art history,
Yeah.
you can decide that there's qualities of this that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fair. And that was on this list, right?
Yeah.
Like from here to here in the middle
Mhm.
was all about
The value of humanity.
knowing how to talk about why something is
Yeah.
or isn't good. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's accepting that some stuff is good and some stuff isn't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is good in a very personal context because
Personal,
between
yeah.
you and I, this is just lovely. Can you grab yours?
Mhm.
We'll show you our plant later too. 12 years of running Rumble House, we weren't able to have a plant. I feel like the outdoor light might be overexposing this a bit, but okay. This one is Jesse's. This is Jesse's Venus of Willendorf, and this is mine. In terms of good, hers is better than mine. Like,
Okay. In terms of, because in response to medium and what I would say is good is this is ceramic glaze. It's
Yeah.
like a porcelain glaze.
Yeah.
It's like a high quality material, and you put acrylic on your clay.
I put shiny gold paint on it.
Yeah. And
This is also called kitsch. Okay.
yeah.
I'm being funny.
Yeah.
And I'm subverting the rules and the laws of art
Yeah.
by creating some kitsch.
Yeah.
Because I'm funny. I'm hilarious.
You're hilarious.
But I could arguably try and sell this in an art fair, and I could try and pass it off as good. It's definitely original, but this is good. This is like you put your heart and soul into making a Venus Willendorf, and this has a different power than this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if Elvis made this, it'd be worth a lot more.
Value, yes.
It might be more valuable to both of us as Elvis fans. Like, Elvis made this? It's amazing. Okay. Now, this is also kitsch. Okay. And you might say it's good. And you might say this is good. Or you might say they're garbage. Okay. So when it comes to like these lists of things that we had here, right? One of them was knowing your materials and knowing a little bit of art history and knowing a little bit like the stories behind these two pieces are very powerful.
Oh yeah, and
right?
About people's priorities
and priorities.
Yeah.
And when we go to this place, we kind of know the guy. He's like really happy to see us because we do spend a lot of money there. We will buy these statues and display them in our home. Actually, there's a story behind that. This one here, I saw her on the shelf one day and she wasn't there. And I went to the bathroom and I thought, well, that's weird. I wonder if I can get a Cali sculpture from my home. And then I flipped through and found it. And then I thought, well, where would I order this from? And it so happens that you order it from a store on 17th Avenue, which was crazy because I thought it was going to come from Egypt, which it did. But so I think these are plastic, or they might be plaster. I'm not sure what they're made out of. And then they're covered in kind of a bronzy kind of lacquer. Mm-hmm. And every now and then the guy at the store is like, would you like to look at my real specimens? We're like, no, we actually really like these kind of fake bronze statues that reference the art history, but don't steal from somebody else's culture. So there's layers of culture, there's layers of history, there's layers of understanding, there's layers of materials. There's the authenticity of the image, right? That's a very believable looking face. There are a ton of things that either make these great pieces of artworks or just toys. And being able to discuss that, being able to negotiate your way through it, this right here is a more authentic piece of artwork than this, because I know the artist that made this out of clay and traditional materials. This probably made more like a toy factory, but the narrative here is clearer than this. The visual expression is clearer than this. Mm-hmm. We even have, and these are actually pretty funny when you wake up in the middle of the night and it's just like staring at you in the eye. Here's another one I really like. And I like these. I also like that they're made out of sort of like disposable materials. Like I'm not sure what they're made out of. I think they're some kind of plastic or something. They're actually pretty heavy for plastic. Where did the other? Oh, I didn't grab it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was good. This is
a much more believable Venus of Willendorf.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one over there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you grab it?
Yeah.
And the question about whether it's good or not, well, this one looks almost exactly like the Venus of Willendorf. Okay, it's not the right colors because I painted it. Why did we end up with two? Did I give one away?
I think he made multiple.
I bought one. No.
Oh
no, these we bought.
You're totally right. We bought another one. I was thinking it was 3D printed because I have the 3D printed one at home. That's another at school.
Yeah,
that's another layer.
Okay, plaster, clay, acrylic, glaze. Almost an exact casting, kind of a vague reference. This doesn't belong. This stand on the bottom, it's an abomination, right? Somebody took this, one of the most important pieces of artwork in history, and put a stand on it and practically turned it into a chess piece. Right? So these are better examples of what the Venus looked like
Mhm.
than this.
Yeah.
These are more
Historically accurate.
yeah, or
Visually
objectively
accurate.
the ability to make an apple look like an apple we talked about last week.
Right.
This looks a lot like the Venus. This looks a little with dots. These are supposed to be coming out. I'm not really teasing. I'm just teasing.
I know.
Okay. So, but yeah, these are different versions of the kinds of things you can talk about when you're talking about is it good or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These are the 12 rules. They more are the state of grace. They're more of like how you're going to handle yourself in art class.
Like the bones.
But they're also, how many did you come up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
I
think
found
it's
the
20.
page that it's based on the philosophy.
Okay, this is the philosophy.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you read it like this, art education is concerned with the organization of visual material. A primary reliance on visual experience gives an emphasis that sets it apart from the performing arts. Acquiring the proficiency in art requires of how others interpret visual images. Like when you read this, all the words make sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hard words, but they don't line up to give you an understanding of what you're doing. When you treat it like a contract, I think it works quite a lot better. What do we got for time yet?
8. That was
8:20.
the
Do you
first
want to talk
time.
about the curriculum for a bit, and I will paint and draw?
Paint. Yeah, that sounds great.
Are we going to switch places, or maybe I just draw? While
No,
you're-
you draw. I like this. This is
But you're going to take over
I can take over. Yeah.
because I did overspeak you quite a bit.
Oh no, it's okay. I like I get big ideas and then I push in and then I'm gonna pick up because we were talking about the overview. Drawings, compositions, and encounters are the 3 main ideas of how we break everything down. And I used to you can't separate drawing from any
You
other
don't.
part. So it's like I think that's what I'm just saying, like as a new teacher, drawing is like words in English. Like you're going to use words in your here, Scott Cork said, I never realized I could be an artist until I painted my first piece with intention. Only then did I understand that I had always been an artist. My confidence in art was fueled by my mind's visions. Yeah, totally. Like it, and maybe that retrospective, like looking back and saying, oh yeah, I always was. That's only comes by experiencing it for sure. But I was thinking about like grammar and like word usage comes into play all through English because words are writing is made out of words. And it's the same thing with like you said, everything in our lives was a drawing first.
Writing's also drawing.
Exactly. Every letter is so drawing is like essential to everything, and drawing is that backbone. But then it's how you arrange it and how then you discuss it. Oh, did you want the piece that you cut the right size?
I did.
over
I
there?
couldn't find it.
It's over here. We just moved everything around in our house. So that's so drawings, like I'm just thinking like when I first started teaching art, like I'm an artist, and then I was thinking, oh, do I have to have separate units? And I'd always think like I'm going to start with drawing and get into
Or like when we're
painting
doing
and
IB,
sculpture.
and they like, boy, did you ever have to have separate units, right?
Right. And it's like you can always you can always build up units if you need to. And maybe the more I teach and like talk about even art with you, the more I can see, oh yeah, I can fit whatever you want. I can fit my understanding into whatever you want,
What they're asking for.
whatever you're asking for, because I understand it so innately.
But I
But
would
it's
say
like-
for me,
But
sorry,
yeah, no,
is it to go for units? Like I like to split into 3 big parts: drawing, painting, sculpting.
mm-hmm.
And so when they ask me what are my units,
Yeah.
I'll often go to those because it's a thing they can
Yeah.
talk
I
about.
split
and
it into
understand.
drawing, painting, sculpting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like It's kind of like when they're talking about strikes and they
Mhm.
keep talking about classroom size. Like it's just it's a digestible
A
idea.
word that they're exactly.
Yeah. So what's your unit? What's your first unit? And then we always talk off the sender receiver model.
Mhm.
The first unit is
Who
sender.
are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
What's my message? Who am I talking to?
Can I tell you something fun?
Yeah.
It's integrating all of these things, and it's also because of the external stimuli, because you and I share wheels, like clay wheels.
Yeah.
And so you had the clay wheels in September last year,
Yeah.
and then you sent them to me around Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I have them the beginning of this year, and I'm going to send them back to you,
Right.
because then we have double the amount of wheels, because we have 2 in each of our schools. And what I was thinking this year was how interesting it'll be to jump into clay at the beginning.
Right.
And I was like, I might still set things up and like because we always have to make the classes and stuff at the beginning of the year. So I'll still start with like drawing in terms of like getting to know the kids a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like in terms of the different classes, I was really thinking of like grade 9, because I talk about like more portraiture and like emotions. Remember we were talking about like how do you like really make someone feel the emotion that you're trying to get out of that face?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, after working with my grade 9s now this year, it's gonna be so exciting. And I was thinking of really, I can get you water.
Yeah.
I was thinking of how exciting that would be to draw very expressive faces and then sculpt very expressive faces.
Yeah.
And then like that idea of working sculpturally and then hashing ideas out afterwards.
Yeah. You know what I might do for that?
What?
Because I don't really give assignments, but this could be like a real, like, just a glass,
Yeah.
real sort of starting point for that.
Yeah.
Is you take I can do it right here, actually. I think I need paper towels because I'm linking purple inking everywhere.
I'm coming.
You ready?
There's water, and I'll get.
Here's the assignment I would do if I was starting the year with expressive clay.
Yeah.
You take a piece of paper and you have the kids make a whole bunch of circles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like as many circles as you possibly can. So there's like 50 circles.
Filling the whole. Yeah.
And then you just have them do faces inside the circles. And they actually really enjoy this. And also, like, the more faces you can get in here, the better. And then and get them to do lots of different faces inside the circles, and then have them do clay gruesome faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you can remind me, I want to do gruesome faces out of clay early in the year too, but I'm not going to use my wheels until I won't need those until the spring.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll send them to you in like over Christmas or
Right. Okay, carry on. You do great.
Yeah, so that like flip was really cool in my brain, and then us talking about this was really cool because then I got to think about setting things up, and like I said,
but also can I throw one more
drawing
idea?
is everywhere.
Can I throw one more idea to you?
Yeah.
The thing where you have clay happening at the beginning of the year instead of at the end of the year
Mm-hmm.
only kind of really matters with your new students, right? Like you'll have, what are your new students
Oh,
like? Great.
well, that's what I was actually going to say is like I can jump in earlier with the 8s and 9s,
Right.
and then the 6s and 7s I can do a little bit more late, like in
Right.
Christmas or Christmas time, because I'm not going to use. I don't usually use the wheels with the younger kids,
Right.
anyways. So
Right.
yeah.
Do you remember when we first got those wheels? Was it mine or yours that had those little knobs sticking out, and they were like little screws that you could attach a smaller wheel to, and they're like these finger breaking knobs on the clay wheels. Finally they just screwed out as well. They were just like a little tap and gone. You remember that at all? Or
Yeah, because so if you're a ceramicist, you can have many things on the go. Oh, we lost that. He was showing us his pieces outside, and then, but you can, so they can show you many. ceramicists can work on like there are pegs, and then you throw on many bats,
Mhm.
and then you can keep making. But if you're working with
Which is the drinking one? Where's it gone?
where's your Johnny? I don't know where your Johnny Cash is.
Can
Oh,
anybody,
it's there.
can anybody hear phone us tonight? 43629-7424. That's 403-629-7424.
Do you have an outside studio?
I'm hanging out on the patio.
Nice. It's beautiful.
You have a patio?
Yeah, nice little space.
That is
Let's talk a
amazing.
little bit about this teaching idea.
You want me to be a teacher?
I think so.
So crazy, it just might work.
We always talk about this, especially with the male perspectives in our lives, because I think there needs to be more male influence in the education system.
Yeah.
Positive male influences in young kids' lives are.
Don't say that. He won't like that.
But you are.
Don't worry, you're still thug life to me, okay?
No, I'm soft. It's cool. I'd be cool to be a role model. I should be.
Okay, what's maybe this isn't the right place to ask, but what's your academic status? Where would you be starting?
I dropped out of post-secondary early, so
You have some post-secondary?
yeah.
Which one?
I went to that one, Mount Royal.
You went to Mount Royal?
Yeah, and then ACAD accepted me, but
I remember this. I remember
they
that.
wanted me to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Did you spend any time at ACAD?
I stole all the time that I spent there. Oh, that's not true. That's not entirely true either. There was a really, really, really sweet Dutch lady that taught me how to screen print.
Were you working with Hollywood Michael?
I worked with Hollywood Mike.
Who was your third partner in crime? It was you, Mike.
There was an old timer that we hung out with frequently.
Is that Ben?
Chris, Newt, and then we hung out with this dude, Panic. We hung out with this dude, Panic,
Okay.
kid from New Jersey.
Oh, Zach, someone
Yeah.
said you're my role models. They love G. Graham.
Oh, that's my guy. He tried to get online. Shout out, G. Love you, dude. I tried to send him the link, but we both need to invest in better equipment. I've been like, on and off the broadcast. I gotta get a tool. I gotta get a nice camera.
Brought a webcam for you, but we didn't make it to Vancouver on our road trip.
That's okay. I was being a crybaby.
I don't know what my glitch with getting it in the mail is, but I did put it in the bag to take to you to get the on the way out to whatever. Okay.
Should we have a race? I got a package I've been meaning to build you. So let's race to the post.
How long ago did you go to Mount Royal?
Oh, 100 years.
Because they expire those years.
It's like statute of limitations. What do you mean?
Something like that, yeah.
I was never there.
Do you have what were your high school grades like? Complete?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a secret genius, man.
Okay, then I think you should consider whatever. Maybe you're well.
I think I graduated with like 120 plus credits. Like I was crushing it.
Maybe like it's
Also-
insulting for me to say at your point that maybe you have another path, but I think if you got your teaching degree, you would really make some changes in the world. That's what I think. So maybe it's being selfish of me for you to give up whatever dreams you have to become a teacher. But I think that you would have a real. The other thing is this, right?
Yeah.
Oliver is going to SAIT and studying carpentry, right?
Yeah. Nice. Smart man.
Oliver will probably work in carpentry as long as he wants.
Yeah.
the face of engineering, the face of teaching, the face of a lot of careers are changing right now. And, we have these conversations where people go, I don't think my job will ever get replaced by AI. But currently, like, there is a massive flood of jobs vaporizing and disappearing. There's the number of people that are making living as graphic designers and illustrators right now has been in the last 2 years dramatically affected by the coming of AI. And you can feel any way about it you want. You can be like, AI is never as good as real artists, but the problem is, in a lot of cases, what AI is doing is just good enough, right? So if it was difficult to talk a dentist into hiring original artwork to put in Avenue magazine 30 years ago, guarantee you that guy's going to go and AI himself a dental ad instead of hiring a graphic designer. And I'm specifically thinking of a dentist while I'm talking about this, right? So there are still graphic designers, but they're all chasing the bits and scraps that are left after AI changed the world. And I was watching a doctor the other day in a little video talking about how he spent 30 years learning how to read a X-ray, and he's like, but then I just clicked in the AI and it just looked pneumonia, right? Like the career paths are going to change a lot in the next 5 years. Felix is very interested in improv acting right now. And I'm like, that's great, because that's one of the few things that will not be affected by AI. But would I put him in journalism school right now? Maybe I would ask him to test the waters a bit and see what's happening with the industry of journalism right now. Or maybe we have a friend who's a scriptwriter who doesn't really want to teach script writing right now because the kids are just throwing all the scripts into AI and making scripts for them. They're getting better and better, right? So teaching won't go away, but it's going to change a lot in the next 7 years. In the next 7 to 10 years, teaching is going to go a lot less from innovating lessons to supervising kids. And so I think that, like, you would really be an asset to the world as a teacher, but then again, maybe in the sense that Oliver is going to work as long as he wants in carpentry, there is a very good chance Felix won't have to retire. That in the middle of his career with whatever he chooses to do, people will be working for the desire to work rather than a need. Kind of like Star Trek. Well, that got gloomy fast. And that's actually one of the shifts that we have to do while we're teaching, is we have to stop and think, am I still teaching things that are relevant? And I found a book today about how artwork was made in the 1980s. And it had all to do with, like, cutting ruby and using razor blades and all the kinds of graphic design things that were done before computers. And that book is like a buggy whip book. Like, nobody does that anymore. And you can do it for the love of it, but you can't do it competitively, right? Like, it costs you more money to sew yourself a T-shirt than it would to buy one at Walmart.
Right.
Are you talking about the art stuff?
You were chatting.
I'm just waiting for you to
I
come back.
like the turn of phrase that you won't have to retire. You know, I used to use the term, like jobless society, but
Yeah.
I much prefer that you don't have to retire.
Yeah.
Because you had touched on some commie talk earlier. I heard this really great phrase that we're not trying to eliminate the first class, we're trying to eliminate the second class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's like, I used to say, buy your means for your need. but I think, no more second class is so much more important. And so you don't have to retire is so much more important than jobless society, because it sounds like a bunch of beach bums smoking weed and doing art.
Well, how will we
Dirty
know?
communist hippies, but it's really just we're unretirable. We're doing it because we want to.
How are we going to know who has the best truck on the block if nobody has a way to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because we'll need some improv guys to tune up your Porsche.
Let's say there was a universal basic income, right? Then if you had some skills in improv, then what you could do is put on some shows and put a hat around, and then on top of your universal basic income, you would have a little bit extra. And so the wiggle room is going to come from having some skills that still matter. The difference between being behind the curtain or behind the castle walls and outside of the castle walls are going to be what your parents handed you along the way. Like, there's going to be a society that and probably like handed down from the people that are in control of the AI models right now. Their children will probably be pretty comfortable, right? But my children are going to have to be really innovative to have anything more than just the basic minimum is going to come from innovation and skills that aren't easily replicated in a box. So I think that, and I actually think, if you look at the last 10 years of art making, people weren't running out and getting themselves projectors to make artwork 10 years ago. They could have, but they didn't. And now I'm finding that there's a lot of people that want to make a living by tracing things off the wall. And that kind of super realistic artwork that you get from projecting an image up on a wall and then selling it in an art gallery isn't sustainable, right? There's some, I've walked into art galleries and I've seen like people selling pictures of local buildings that they took a photo of and projected on and traced it on and painted in with acrylics. And it might be a fine representation of what that area looked like. It might be familiar, but the longevity of building a career off of tracing it has a short shelf life, right? And I'm not saying you can't use a projector. I own a projector. I don't have a TV, but you have to be able to do it without the projector. And I think what's really going to matter is the ability to make artwork in front of other people. I think after a few years of AI wiping out the livelihood of the comfortable artists, I think there will be a handful of people that still make art and make it with their hands. And I think it'll be very important to make the art before your audience. I think the performance of art making is going to become much more important in the next 10 years. I think there'll be a bunch of phonies that never really loved art. They just thought they were duping people, and they will lose interest really quickly. And the people that have to make art will be the artists again. And the people that thought they had an easy way to make money will probably find another easy way to make money. Or again, we might not need money, like it could be a different, we don't know what it's going to look like. And there might be a war in the middle there too. And I'm not talking about Skynet. I'm just talking about the point where you have a bunch of citizens and the jobs don't exist anymore and people are starving. And then they go, well, yeah, that door's it's a $5,000 door with a $1,000 lock, but and put a brick through that window when I get hungry enough. So I think there's a number of things that are going to shift and change over the next few years. And I don't mind putting a nickel in the conspiracy jar either.
Yeah, I would. Maybe we choose one day a year where anything goes. You
No.
can paint anything you want.
No, because there are some conspiracy theories that I am not open to. Want to know one of them?
Yeah,
Okay,
I want to know them all.
No, there's a couple that they like. I'm like, I'll fight you for it. Like, let me just think of one. Well, actually, this isn't really one I'd fight over, but it's one I find really super laughable. Is we were just watching an old James Bond film, and it turned out really kind of kitschy and funny. And I'd often wondered where this started, because the first reference that I ever heard to faking the moon landing came from Gross Point Blank, and it was just a throwaway line where they're both like assassins for the American government, I think. And Dan Aykroyd says, "Oh, you can't trust anything since they faked the moon landing," and that was like such an outlandish thing to say that I wondered if maybe that one throwaway line is what led to people actually like breaking down and trying to prove whether the NASA faked the moon landing. But I had also wondered, like, how long has this persisted, this myth? And it was actually in 1971, James Bond film. While he's being chased, he runs into a set where they're faking the moon landing. I'm like, oh my God. It's kind of like there's a particular politician that made a lot of ground eating an apple in a very specific way on the internet just recently. And then somebody had pointed out that it was a scene from Seinfeld and that George Costanza was doing it. And I was like, I went and looked. It's verbatim. This guy kind of made a name for himself by acting like George Costanza. It's like, if you hadn't seen that episode of Seinfeld, I guess, which I hadn't, you know, but in reality, am I making sense? I don't know if I am. Anyhow, one of the earliest visions of the Apollo moon landing came from a James Bond film. It was just a gag they made. They didn't know they were going to change the universe with.
It's for the jar. It's for the jar.
Oh, I know.
What about something you really want to say? Okay, yeah. I got one. I'm gonna flip your lid here next.
I think I even got mad at you once for suggesting Paul McCartney was fake. I was like,
yes,
I will fight over, because Paul McCartney's like he's really important to me, right? And then like erasing his identity as part of a fun game is like, that's a real human being, and he had, you know what I mean?
What about Elvis? What about Napoleon?
What about them?
What about them, man?
What? Tell me the conspiracy about Elvis. That he was a racist, or?
Oh, he's a plant. He's like they gave him a badge. The guy was designed. I
like that doesn't shock me. I know that Simon and Garfunkel were like no different than the Spice Girls, right? So Paul Simon was I mean, this is history though. It's not conspiracy. Paul Simon was a solo musician, and Art Garfunkel was a solo musician. And somebody said, you know what's really selling right now is duos, and they were artificially put together, and then they became huge stars. And there was 5 girls that answered an ad and became the Spice Girls. Like that's not so much conspiracy. I mean, if you tell me that Elvis lives in on an island with Tupac, I'm gonna say,
oh yeah, nice, yeah.
I'm gonna say
put some money in the jar.
That's a matter of desire, right? Like our hearts weren't ready to lose those people, so we made up stories so that we could cope with them being missing. But when you start to erase somebody's achievements, this goes back to the art curriculum, right? Like, if I make a painting, it's important that people don't tear it apart to hurt me, right?
So I mean, I can have a theory as long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
Well, no,
this is some Aleister Crowley level shit. I like this a lot.
You have to be honest. You don't have to anything really, but you should.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
being honest about when your theories hurt people, right?
right.
And like when I imagine the amount of work it took to something as trivial as riding my bicycle to Edmonton. If you said you didn't do that, I'd be like, no, I did, but it doesn't matter if you did.
Yeah.
However, if I changed the scene of art in Calgary, Alberta, by creating a space that shifted a city of exclusion into inclusion, and somebody came around and said that I didn't do that, I would feel like they don't know me, they don't know what I'm doing, they don't know what I'm about, right? But if they turned it into a lie, if they erased it and made me ashamed of being part of that, that would be cutting out my history, not just killing me, but erasing me, right? And so those people that put their bodies on the moon, that was like the biggest achievement that a human being's ever achieved. And if you know for a fact, if you were there and part of the illusion, and you want to break that illusion, go, guess what? It was all a big farce. They never put their bodies on the moon. Fine, be a whistleblower. But if you're taking something as magnificent as a human being stepping on the moon and just on a lark, erasing that achievement for human beings, for that astronaut, for that country, for that time frame, for everybody that watched it, that is a big strike. That is a big erasing of a human being's achievement, right? Like blowing up a statue times a million. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've often thought about being able to stand behind these, and humor is a fantastic maneuver when you could say that, oh, I thought Buzz was a big joke. Sorry, any offense. So this, what I say has gravity, pun intended. But
but what happens when you're like, oh, this is a lie and this guy's a liar, and you're just sitting in a classroom talking to like your classmates, and a body goes whipping out of the room and bursts into tears, and then she's like, "That's my father you're talking about." What happens?
No. None of that stuff you teach is within living memory. That's by design.
Because
whose father is related to Napoleon? That dude didn't exist.
Well, there was a girl in Jerry Paquette's class who was the daughter of Ralph Klein, and it was at a time when Ralph Klein was cutting higher education. And so the university students were really vigilant about speaking some smack talk about Ralph Klein. And I'm actually not a fan of Ralph Klein, and I'm probably quite guilty of also saying some pretty negative stuff about Ralph Klein. But my instructor, Jerry Paquette at Mount Royal, had pointed out that he was teaching in a class when everybody was going off about Ralph Klein. And out of the blue, Ralph Klein's daughter was like, you guys are talking about my dad, right? And so those things happen, right? And people, I think that's the biggest thing, right?
But that's Little League. Ralph Klein's Little League. Like, I know that's quite important to us, but on a wider scale, to a broader audience, Ralph Klein never even existed.
Sure.
I'm talking about dudes that like rocked history not existing. Like, and then, distorted history is so prevalent to me right now. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to be a teacher, to teach about Columbus, slurring, it's a slim chance I'm gonna be a teach.
Yeah. So Columbus is kind of like a good example of how, as you inform yourself, you probably learn that a lot of what we learned in textbooks wasn't true, right? Is that?
Thank you. Yeah.
But but you propose that as it looks like Columbus wasn't who we thought he was, right?
Yeah, it's not malicious. I'm not like
You propose that as
we can still hang out.
yeah, right. Like even when they just say Columbus discovered America, there was already people here, so Columbus did not discover America.
Right.
Right. So that's just a simple like example of how language didn't include reality. Right. Like the reality was that it's wrong to say Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
But when you start to say that Columbus didn't discover
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
we're
But
still
yeah, I should be so bold as to like make these claims. Like, who am I? Am I going to be willing to take, responsibility for this swear jar that we're, or sorry, this, conspiracy jar? I gotta man up.
what if
I'm going to talk this.
what if Paul McCartney was here, and you're sitting
What
there,
if he was like,
what if he was here and you're telling a story about how he's a clone from the 60s and
he's
then,
at the JJ Bean? He's at the JJ Bean, and he's like,
and then he's like, yeah, but what if he was like, because I feel like that's actually happened to me a number of times as well, that I had an idea of a public persona that I didn't like, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm mouthing off, and then they show up at the gallery, right? And you realize they're human beings with feelings, and even though you thought you knew about them, you meet them in person, and you're like, wow, did I ever shouldn't have tread on your persona and your existence, right? Barb Higgins sticks in my mind that I was really angry because I kind of believed in the message that Naheed Nenshi was projecting. And I specifically did not believe in the message that Rick McIver was projecting. And then I was frustrated that Barb Higgins had such a simplistic way of looking at running for an election. And I probably said some things that I couldn't back up about Rick McIver and Barb Higgins. But what I was really talking about was how advanced I thought Naheed Nenshi was in that race. And so I said lots of stuff, and a lot of it I didn't even mean, and a lot of it I didn't really believe. And then she showed up at the gallery one day. I was like, what a lovely lady. And I'm going to go through my Facebook and see what things I said about her in the, you know what I mean? And
right.
actually, I don't know if you know Jeremy Farkas at all. He was one of the counselors, and I was so outraged at the way he handled and did things while he was a counselor that I felt like if he became the mayor of Calgary, I'd shut the gallery down and move. And then after he left politics, one of my friends got to know him and wrote on Facebook, like, I met Farkas. He's actually a surprisingly awesome guy. And then over the years, as Jeremy Farkas stepped away from city council, he sort of like started to show another side of himself that was quite lovely. And so, I'll eat my words from time to time. Like maybe I was wrong about Jeremy Farkas, like I used to think he was a villain. Now I don't, but when he's sitting at the table and you're saying he's not real, that's really, that's damaging, right?
But that guy at your dinner table could have been playing a character.
100%.
Under duress,
100%. Or he could just peel off his skin and he's a lizard inside.
Ah!
But what I'm saying is who owns that story? The person living or somebody sitting at the table talking about somebody else, right? Like you own your story and I own my story. And we do our best to exist in the same space. And I think it's important to be like acknowledging of each other's boundaries. And we can, at the expense of other human beings that we don't think we're going to meet, poke fun at their existence and turn them into other things. But when you meet them, you go, oh, that wasn't fair. Buzz really did probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to stub my toe for that one.
Think about it with graffiti culture, right? Like, because of the big risks happen behind the scenes,
Yeah.
And I've often wondered why it doesn't happen more, that some artists don't just take credit for other artists, like why
Yeah.
mural, just sign your name on somebody else's mural. Or we were riding our bicycles down past Millennium, and there was this kind of like, I don't know, he's probably in his mid-20s, graffiti kid who was really loudly telling everybody on the block, because they were at the park and he had a lot up at the park, and he's trying to impress these kind of drunk teenage girls, and he's kind of like sort of blabbing about who he was. And as he was riding by, I was like, "Oh, I think that guy wrote on my building. I have to clean it up once." And I'm not bothered by that, right? But many people could have been, right? Or, when you cross over between graffiti and an art gallery, and you come in and you're selling pieces, and somebody just painted their garage and then they had to paint it again. Like, let's say it cost them $1,000 to paint their garage, and then it looks great, so somebody comes and puts a mural on it, and then it costs them another $1,000. If somebody reached in your pocket and took $1,000 from you, you'd be pretty wounded, right? So, because so many of the risks, I think, happen between street art and gallery art and real life, you wouldn't want an important persona to be erased, right? And I would think there's really nobody more vulnerable than a secret society artist that puts their name on a wall, and then just somebody arbitrarily walks by and goes, "That was me," like, no, it wasn't. No, yeah, it was. That's me, right? Like, if somebody was out there telling everybody they were there and you weren't real, that would kind of sting, wouldn't it?
No, that's the point.
Mm.
It's the more things change, the more they stay the same, and the same way that,
That's a healthy attitude, but I've also seen 30-year-olds
Yeah.
to beat up 15-year-olds because they got their work written on, right? Like,
oh yeah, that's so primitive. Oh man, that's some caveman energy.
yeah,
Yeah, it exists. It exists.
and I was privy to those conversations sometimes, because there were people that were selling stuff at the gallery, right? So
Yeah,
that was a weird space to be in.
yeah.
Wait, I'm not judging you or trying to race you either. I think that, like, personally, I think you like commit to humor. Is that fair?
Yes, please.
Yeah, and I don't really think. I mean, I don't really think you think the world's flat. So I might be erasing your beliefs by assuming that you don't think it's flat, right? But when it gets to the point where people are throwing kids off of cliffs to prove that the world's not flat, that's kind of where I'm headed. Is that the damage that gets incurred trying to make a point.
Yeah, like, I mean, I hope we don't get to the conclusion that, claiming that gravity isn't real, isn't a victimless crime.
Right.
Like, hopefully that, like, every time I say that gravity is a hoax, that, like, they're not sacrificing another Honduran kid.
Right. Because if
So, like, because I don't fucking believe in gravity, but I also don't want, children to be sacrificed, for.
Or what if you were talking to, like, one of the people at the gallery that had schizophrenia, and you're just shooting the shit, telling them gravity's not real, and then they go inside.
Oh no, yeah, no, totally.
Because that's actually another part of this whole issue, is that you might be talking to somebody who's struggling with their mental health, and then you're presenting this idea.
Yeah.
Then they're testing it out for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There was one particular person we really appreciated at the gallery. He volunteered and helped out quite a bit, but some nights he came in and he was just off, and then you have to be really careful what you said to him, because there could be consequences, right? Like, if you told him on one of those nights gravity wasn't real, he might start sharing that idea with other people. He might even test it out a bit. Like, he might be so convinced that gravity is not real that he steps off a ledge, and that would be really scary.
Woo.
But Paul McCartney is not a clone, man.
Hey,
I think we covered
I got a
it.
reputation to protect here.
As a conspiracy theorist?
Yeah, as a wacko.
By the way, put you like I didn't come off as maybe I came off as lecturing a little bit, but I'm kind of playing like devil's advocate in the sense that
Yeah.
that I think that you do believe in gravity because watch. Right? Now actually the way gravity is described in terms of physics is it conflicts with quantum mechanics. So that's not even controversial. That's part of science class.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But again, like if you talk somebody into thinking gravity doesn't exist and they jump off a building, that's on you, man. That's like.
Oh yeah. How do I stop sucking at art?
I once, no, you're amazing at art. I had this kid in when I was a kid. We were at art school together, and he was going to ask out this young lady, and she was German, but he thought she was French. That's how little he knew her. But he was explaining to us that he was going to ask out the French exchange student that was at ACAD when we were in first year. And I don't know why I did this, but I convinced him that the word buddy was a French term. That we say buddy like your friend, right? Like this is my buddy. But in French, I said buddy meant like a special someone, kind of like a first date status, a little more than a friend, not quite a girlfriend. But I said the word buddy comes from like kind of a romantic term from French. It's pronounced bidet. And so what I said was, what he should do if he really wanted to impress this girl is ask her to be his bidet for the evening. And I thought that was a really funny thing to say. And he was really grateful for my advice. And I don't know why I got distracted and forgot to tell him I was kidding. And so after he left, I realized, oh crap, like I just told him to ask the girl that he likes from Europe if she would be his bidet for the evening. And I remember I was really like concerned that my little joke had turned into like something potentially harmful. And it turned out she was German, she wasn't French, and she actually didn't know what a bidet was. So it worked out kind of okay. But this is what I'm saying about words having power.
Full circle to the art curriculum.
Yeah, it's 9:00. What
Are we going to do more curriculum?
We haven't stopped doing curriculum is the amazing part. That's the miraculous part about tonight is that this whole thing has been just a great long curriculum.
It is really interesting. I was actually looking and I was trying to find online. There's 3 other classes that are because we have like art 10, 20, and 30, and this is art 11, 21, and 31. They're whole other classes that are more like art history and theory.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like about artifact culture and like the roles artifacts in culture, like how artifacts form culture. And so it's like art history classes, art 11, 21, and 31.
Almost all of our history comes from art, right? Our math didn't exist before language, and language didn't exist before art, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever knowing that everything comes from art forever, and that do you ever feel obligated to produce at that level, at that like creating art history? Do you feel that pressure to?
Everyone's creating art history. Like we're responding to our
So
culture.
it's no matter what. Yeah.
You can't even help it. Like
You're right.
Like Ai Weiwei said, all art's political. Same thing. Like everything you create.
But I think maybe even more specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Ai Weiwei.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more specifically, what happened to me is I opened up an art gallery where I had to sell a painting every week, and I ended up doing around 2,000 paintings over 12 years. And it so happens that I can't make them go away. Right. So it makes a lot of sense. Like the advice they used to give us in art school was don't be in too much of a rush to get out there and do your first art show because nobody forgets the bombs, right? And I must have 1,000 of my worst artworks out there, right? And I have 1,000 of my best artworks out there, and it's too late to make them go away. And actually, this year's been a spectacular year where people keep saying, "Oh, I was in an office and I saw one of your paintings." I was like, "Oh, I saw this." I was like, and a kid that just graduated, and he had kind of a tough time leaving. Like it was the last day of school. I was like, "Bye, okay, bye," and then he didn't want to go, and that's fair because you like kind of hate school until the last day, and you realize you don't want to go. Right after we said goodbye for the last time, he got a job. He's doing some volunteering, helping clear out some of those storage bins. And I guess I didn't see the message. He sent me a message, and like 3 weeks later, I got back to him. He's like, "Dude, is this a Rich Teru?" And he found one of my paintings in a abandoned storage bin. And I was like, "Oh, that is mine. You should have kept it." He's like, "I totally have it." But but there are pieces, and I bought a few back that I really wish didn't exist. Even forget about art history. I just wish they didn't exist in the block, right? But I would say everything that you make and put out there becomes part of the mythosphere, and then you have to deal with those things. And there's Facebook posts that I wrote 15 years ago when I didn't know better that I wish I could make go away. I generally don't delete them. There's every now and then I'll say something and I'll realize I'm misinformed. And there's a culture that says you're not allowed to delete these things. You got to own your mistakes. But sometimes I delete them because their being up creates more harm than good, right? So 100% I regret to some extent the duds I put out there. I put a few duds out there.
Oh yeah. A firm believer in touch-ups over here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the nice thing about being human too, is that you grow and you change your perspectives.
Your ego has a completely different relationship with perfection in art.
And also the public sphere. I know you have a different relationship with the public sphere, and I have a different relationship with that. And yeah,
I know that you love the gore and the imperfections and the mistakes, and that is a freedom that many of us could try and embrace.
But it's different because I think, like we were talking about, why we make art too. I don't think I make art for the same reason you make art. Like I make art, like we were talking about artist statements. Like I make art as little prayers, and the imperfection. Like I think I sit more in like a folk art, not because of the materials that I use, but because of my intention. I think I sit in a different realm than you do. And then the even in like the dresses that I make, like I can only, like on the topic of our wedding, like I'd only be able to wear it one night because it like my craftsmanship isn't there, but the visuals are there. And like when I go to make something, I think of the what it's saying, like the power of it, like the prayer I'm sending up. And then it's like it might not last very long.
I never thought of that because I'm always like, how can you expect that to hold together?
Yeah, I'm not.
And you're like, it might not.
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
what a party it'll be if it doesn't. You know? Whereas Zach, do you know why you make art? Do you have like a number one reason?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm so attached to the opposite of depression is expression. So I'm like, I'm hooked on that.
Yeah. And then so for me, it's a tick. Like part of it is I just compulsively make art, and I always have. It's always been like a medication for me.
Yeah, nice.
Stop doing it just as a as an unaware tick, and I started doing it with intention. I forced myself to sort of recognize what is my intention.
Oh, Scott's here.
Something
I'm just adding Scott to the stage here. Fun. Hi, Scott.
I just had to reset all my settings, and now it's working. So yay team.
Nice. I didn't want to interrupt what you were saying.
No, that's okay.
The idea.
My intention for art, like when I actually stop and think, like, why do I make art? And this isn't me boasting. This is me admitting my deepest, darkest secret. And it goes back to when I worked at Thrifty's. There was a day I noticed that the lady at the diamond store next to me would get very angry. Stop me. You probably heard the story a million times, but I would go get Arby's from the cafeteria in Northland Village, and I would leave what was Thrifty's on the one end of the mall, walk past the diamond store where the lady hated me, and then into the cafeteria and buy a thing, and then come back. And then finally one day she jumped out and screamed at me like, "Why do you hate me?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And it was because I had been running my fingers along the glass all the way to the cafeteria. And the reason I run my fingers along the glass, or the reason I tap the lockers on the way through the hallway, is because I have always had the feeling that at the moment that I stop, Zach, you there? You're gonna
yeah. And you're here too. You're still here too.
You're gonna have a moment here, though. Get ready to crush me with the ultimate revenge. Are you ready?
Okay. No.
Wait, though. Are you ready?
Well, yeah, but
I do run my fingers along the glass and tap things. I have this compelling feeling that at the split second that I stop creating and making things, that I'm going to float off into space and disappear and never exist. Isn't that ironic? You know what I mean? So as much as I say gravity exists, as much as I say that
oh, I see the irony now. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's the whole show. The whole show is non-dual. It's a total. You're the audience and the actor.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scott, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to share my screen.
Oh.
Because I'm going to be working on some photos here.
Oh, cool. I can add it to the stage here. Is that working? It looks like
I wanted a little bit more, but I'm going to stop the screen here. Try again. Your screen.
I never share my screen.
Yeah, this is interesting.
That's like my greatest fear.
It's good learning.
I would rather broadcast from a toilet than share my screen. And there's nothing on my screen that I should be embarrassed of, but the idea of sharing my screen.
Right? I'll click add to stage.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if I have to click something else. Hold on.
Oh,
infinity loop.
Right, so hey, we're learning all kinds of neat stuff here. Yeah, now I can get working on my photos.
So yeah, we were talking about why we make art, and so I'm glad you're sharing this stuff. Why do you make art, Scott?
I make art because having grown up in a very black and white and analytical world, and having been very black and white and analytical for my entire career, it's that part of my life that allows me to be different shades in different places.
I like that.
A rebellion against reality.
I like that.
It's not a rebellion. It's an adjunct or an addition. It's another layer on top of it, of a mosaic.
Very cool.
Oh, I love that additive. Additive is so healthy. I like that a lot. Mosaic. Oh.
Yeah. Well, and that's a similar thing to, you have different types of friends in your world. If you always had the exact same people in your world, everyone talking the same language as you, Man, that'd be boring. Take a look at a dog having to eat the same kibble every day.
Yeah, you got to take that guy to the park.
Exactly.
It's fun. There's many layers. Oh, cool.
Is that a drone shot?
No, that's actually Megan and I went for a flight around Mount Assiniboine.
Isn't that just a really big drone?
A really big drone.
But if you see, like, I mean, she.
There's a smiley face.
I 100% knew that was an airplane, but I was trying to make fun, like, if a photographer was also a pilot. Isn't it like a drone shot?
Where did that smiley face come from?
Meg put it on there because she says it looks like somebody's hair. It looks like a helmet.
Oh, she drew in. Oh, so cute. Into your photo.
Yeah. Well, she was taking the pictures. I was busy doing pilot stuff.
The
So.
flying stuff. Oh, cute. I was like, is that a piece of land art? Did someone make that to look like a happy face from space?
Actually, I have done that. It hasn't showed up on Google Earth yet, but I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to happen.
How far can you fly?
Well, flying to Victoria this weekend.
And then, like,
my plane can fly. My plane can fly farther than my bladder can.
Okay, that's fair.
Fair. Okay.
Fly by my house.
Yeah, Zach's in Vancouver.
Ooh, well, we'll throw a penny out and see if it hurts.
Felix
always asks questions about
how different does the world seem to you now that you've covered that space in an air vehicle? Like what I'm saying is, we're talking earlier, I rode my stupid bicycle to Edmonton once. Mm-hmm. And what I found was every time I drove to Edmonton afterwards did not seem nearly as far as it used to. And then I would think being in an airplane going to Vancouver didn't change my life, but flying an airplane to Vancouver must give you a completely different sense of the size of things.
Well, and that's what happened to me a couple of weekends ago when I went to Penticton on a whim in the morning, picked peaches out of my friend's tree, and then came back in the evening. It felt incredibly surreal to what should have been an 8-hour drive was an hour and 45-minute flight. So yeah, it definitely changes your perspective a lot on it. But the thing that I really love is seeing a different perspective.
Yeah, look at that.
Looking down on the mountains, but not from 30,000 feet.
Right, you're flying through them.
Yeah, it's the so even able to sort of skip along over the mountains, but still seeing the detail in them versus when you're up in a jet airplane, there's no detail. They're just little bumps. So it gives me a whole new appreciation for seeing the world in a different view. That's like with my photography company, I used to say, change your perspective, right? Because I did a lot of drone work.
Yeah.
Does it seem
That's
Does it
so
seem
beautiful.
lonely sometimes to have your mind shifted to that extent that like now that you're talking to like people that don't do that? Like I have a motorcycle. Sometimes even Jess on the back of my motorcycle, if she's not actively pulling on that throttle,
Yeah,
I don't know if she gets the same experience on the
say
motorcycle.
I always get a change of perspective after going on the motorcycle, but I guess you would have even different.
Yeah, but not like
feelings.
flying an airplane, right?
But not like flying an airplane. No.
Same thing as flying an airplane.
Low flying airplane.
Well, I know, but in a motorbike, you have the ability to look around you in 360 degrees. Like, I mean, how bizarre and fantastic is it to go riding through the mountains and have a 360-degree panorama?
But in your case, it's almost like gravity isn't real.
Circles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Zach,
Nice.
yeah.
Do you want? Are you comfortable with answering some questions about radar,
Oh,
Captain?
I will definitely try. I'm up for anything.
hey, would you just before you ask it,
So we're talking to a pilot here.
ground or not?
We're talking to an astronaut here.
Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
Ooh, Major Tom. Metallic Tom. Mini Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, radar question.
Line of sight. How can you land on a moving runway?
As in like the Earth is moving, or as in a
Right? Isn't it? The runway's on the Earth. The Earth is moving, so are you. How do you land that?
Okay, it's all relative. It's relative to the motion, right? So if the world's spinning at
Oh.
25,000 miles an hour, and my airplane's traveling 25,030 miles an hour, it's all relative, right?
Otherwise, your teeth would go.
If
right
you believe in Einstein, it is.
Well, now you're right. And every time I've landed on a runway, it's been flat. There's been no curves in it, so the Earth is flat. So,
Right? Yes, we heard it. We heard it here, folks. We heard it here.
now I'm going to have to wipe you all out.
We know too much. Oh no, we know too much.
I'm
Like, follow, and subscribe.
I'm flying with the flat Earth, Zach, but don't say that Paul McCartney's not real. I will fist fight you in an alley over that one.
Yeah, I mean that's an easy compromise for me.
I like the boundaries. That's nice.
Did I ever
Yeah.
say you weren't allowed to be a flat earther? No, I never said that.
Yeah. No.
I am persnickety.
No. I think the first rule of Fight Club is.
Wow. Look at that photo.
Actually, something that really benefited us is we kind of had a fight club in the basement at Gorilla House for after hours. And so when people came in talking tough, we could just kind of invite them, like, well, if you want to come to our fight club, you know, like, and then they just
You're like, hey, Zach, you want to rent a space in the basement?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, Elijah and his brother were both boxers, right? So the space we had was, what would you say, multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Those dudes were intimidating.
Well, Zach, I'm heading out to Vancouver for a couple of weeks here in the middle of September to see a whole bunch of concerts. Maybe stop and have a coffee or something.
I would be over the moon that I don't believe in. Please reach out. Yeah, we can. Let's exchange contact information through the Isle of Roux.
Right, sounds great. I will have the Rue pass it through to you. My number.
I'm suddenly feeling very jealous. I don't know why, but I'm feeling big jealous feelings that I won't be having coffee with you guys.
Well, maybe we'll do it on a Wednesday evening, just to stick it to you, just a
Oh,
little bit extra.
yes, please.
Okay.
What shows are you seeing, Scott?
Oh, good Lord. I think I've kind of I have overdone it.
If it's music, you can't overdo it.
Yeah, I have. Let me just, so I have a wedding to go to on Saturday the 13th. I have a wedding. Sunday the 14th, I got to go see in Seattle. I have to drive to Seattle and see Yola Tango and Modest Mouse.
Oh, good. Good.
Then that's on Sunday. Monday, it's Thievery Corporation in Vancouver. Tuesday morning, I jump on an airplane and I fly to Toronto to see Pulp in Toronto. Wednesday, I fly back to Vancouver. And then Thursday, I'm down to Seattle to see Granddaddy. Back up to Vancouver to Friday to see MJ Liederman. Saturday, I see the Waterboys in Vancouver. And then that's Mac DeMarco, I think, one of those nights. And then The Who on the Tuesday, and then drive back to Calgary. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, we get to go back to teaching. How about that? Wait a minute.
So like I say, I think I've overdone it this year. So, but thankfully, the last half of that week is National Negroni Week, so that'll play nicely with me.
Jesse and I go through a ceremonial suicide next few days because we don't actually kill ourselves, but like whatever makes us good and whole on the insides has to go into a package for 10 months.
We're trying to see if we can integrate both halves, but
keeping it positive, yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
I have to stop saying the F word.
In 6 days.
Thievery Court, please. Oh,
they are amazing. Saw them New Year's Eve. Well, it's December 30th in 2023. They were down at the waterfront place down there on False Harbor.
Oh,
they were. It was amazing, amazing, really good. And they're playing at whatever that place is in Stanley Park. Malcolm Bowl or something like
Malcolm
that.
Bowl, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, popular spot.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I got to jump off, guys. I've been.
It's
he's got a jet. He's got a jet.
No. I got a university daughter who's giving me the stink eye because I've been talking and bugging her. She's trying to watch TV. So
can you phone us one time on the telephone before you go?
Well, I can do that right now.
Yeah. Oh no, on the telephone.
Yeah, well, I know. That's why I got this.
Oh, you're turning it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I want to have a telephone-to-telephone conversation.
I'm going to do this.
Where's your red one?
And then I'm going to call.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
I have you on speaker. I'm not sure if we're going to get feedback or not.
That's okay. It's awesome. Did you not, because I borrowed your box, you don't have your red phone set up anymore?
I haven't gotten that far.
Okay. I was just a little concerned that I broke it or something. So
no, it's I've taken it out of the bag and it's sitting on the table beside my Red Cobra phone.
Okay.
Give me two shakes of a lamb's tail, and I'll give you another call back, and we'll do this properly.
Would you really? That'd mean a lot to me. Thank you.
I'll just you.
It's funny. I can hear you better without the phone because we're on the broadcast. But what were you picking off of me?
There's like just hair and then a fluffy and then.
Like I need a buzzer?
No.
Or like hair was just sitting on
It
me?
was just sitting on me.
Oh, I see. I wonder if anybody will call me tonight. I've been just sitting here by the phone waiting for it to ring. I wonder if anybody's thinking about me. Just wondering how I'm doing. sometimes you just sit and you wait for that phone to ring and you wait for that phone to ring. And when it does, you feel so special. You remember before the cell phone, don't you?
I've always just had mega anxiety around phone calls.
Not always.
Oh, I don't remember a time when I didn't.
You told me that you had a special phone with a very long cable that you could sneak into other rooms and have private conversations.
Yeah, but that was still anxiety. That probably was the part of my life that gave me the anxiety about phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, you'd phone your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have rules about phoning? Like, did you have, like, my mom, it was forbidden to touch the phone after a certain hour? Or
Yeah, definitely. And even sometimes still, I think, like,
what about in
is
the
it
morning?
too late?
What was too early in the morning? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad you called.
Well, I just thought I wasn't sure what you were up to, but I figured you'd be a little bit busy, so I thought, what the heck? I'd jump right on it.
I'm never too busy for you.
Oh, stop it. Look at us use technology for good, not for evil.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this.
All right. So
To be fair, I cheated and called you on my phone and not.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to dial. Otherwise, I'd get a nosebleed.
I actually really like the mechanism part. But I actually have to look up most of my, even my wife's phone number. I have to look it up. I know the last few numbers to recognize them, but there's a point there where we were separated. My phone got lost and we were in Vancouver or something. Like, I don't know how to find my wife. Like, I should have memorized her phone number.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, there we go. We're back. I was going to say I wasn't hearing you on my phone, so I think when you were doing that, it may have funked things up for a bit. Anyway, I got to go. This thing don't come cheap.
Yeah.
It's easy, but it's not cheap.
Thank you. Thanks for
All right, you guys have a fun night.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Take care.
Kisses.
Bye.
It actually kind of anticlimactic to hang up on the phone and we're still here together.
Fun. All right. It is 9:27.
What time do we?
That man is a miracle, and I cannot wait to have coffee with him.
It's so fun.
I love you guys. I miss you guys.
Love you. I miss you too. Are we should we say goodnight for the night or what should we do?
Let's see your artwork.
Yeah, do you want to share?
You want to see? This is what I got. This is what I got so far. I got a little Zayer piece here. A little Zayer Studios energy.
To be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want it to show off anyway. Oh, that's my double chin. I got this lady. She's okay. She's kind of timid, which is kind of all right. I tried to use the plywood. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Hey, do you know what today was
Good
today,
texture.
Zach?
No.
It's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I like the texture.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. No, I don't know the one. I don't know.
Perfect. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy. When did you see Flintstones? Was it on TV?
I'm getting younger, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix was watching.
Okay, guys.
Oh, that was the other side. Was that the other side?
I flipped them. I did two in a row. I did two. I did 4 paintings, I think. Trying to keep up with the boss.
Amazing. That's good.
That's amazing.
That's good. So good. Yay! That's fun.
How is the art world living in Vancouver? Is it things are thriving?
Yeah, it's cool. We just went to a show called Under Lease.
Yeah.
This lady Emily Cohen. Check her out. She's gonna blow up. She's Pacific Northwest genius. 900 followers. This lady deserves infinitely more. Holy shit! Coolest, saddest stories. The best show I've been to in a minute.
Yeah.
Emily Cohen. Shout out Emily Cohen. Shout out Slice Vancouver. Shout out, shout out my buddy Naeem. Shout out my buddy Tom. Shout out Meech. Shout out the love of my life, Meechy. Shout out mom and dad. What's going on here? Did I accept an award? I gotta go. I fucking love you guys. I miss you so much. I can't wait to do this again in a week.
I didn't offend you in any way, did I, with all my lecturing today?
What? No, I love you. Keep them coming. Keep me honest, man. I don't want to be anybody but me, and I need you to, help me with that.
Okay.
It was
Love
really
you.
nice
Yeah.
seeing you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. And we'll say bye to Kelly too. You're in your studio. Take care.
Was I too lectury today?
No, it was good. It was fun. It was a good day. Okay, we'll say bye to everybody. Have a great week.